Of course I coach one-on-one with clients. I'm a coach. I'm a good coach. Would you like to know why? I see into your soul. I've survived 25 years of Zen study so far. But here's the thing, you see a video like this and you think, I couldn't work with Jeffrey. That's not for me. That's not me. Why do you talk about yourself like that? Link's in the bio, you might as well click it. Why do you talk to yourself like that? Why wouldn't you be worthy of working with me?
The fucking balls on this egomaniac.
Now, I would never work with Jeffrey as a life coach, but not because I feel unworthy. It's because I wouldn't want to work with a life coach who wears lipstick, paints his fingernails, and calls himself a they-them. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a slightly quick and fairly crazy clown world update for you guys today, and as usual, we have no time to waste, so let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this pink-haired fella is Bianca. Now, Bianca is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a transbian or trans-lesbian. Now, according to liberals, Bianca is a woman simply because he says he's a woman, so that's typical liberal logic for you.
You look like Babe Ruth's gay brother. Gabe Ruth.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I just wanted to let you know that I started a Give, Send, Go page a few months ago to try to fight back against this crazy YouTube censorship and suppression and hopefully keep this channel alive. So if you're interested in helping me fight that fight, I will put a link to that in the description box below as well as the pinned comment. And with that being said, we're going to keep it moving with one of the most unhinged rants I've heard in quite a while. Roll it.
Quick question, you little Cheeto cock gobblers. If Biden and Obama's presidencies were so bad, why weren't you protesting out there? Why weren't you going out and fighting for your freedoms? Is it because you like to reap the rewards of what a Democratic president does for this country? It does good for the country, good for the economy, good for the people. And you guys get to sit back and reap those rewards. But then all of a sudden you remember, shit, I'm fucking racist and I haven't been racist in a while. So let's vote somebody in who will let us come out of the fucking woodwork and be our racist selves. Well, guess what? You guys are fucked in the brains. We're over you. Fuck you, MAGA. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck you, pedophiles. Ugh.
Shut your dirty little mouth!
Actually, now that I think about it, I can't decide which one is more unhinged. That first young lady we just heard from or this lady. Roll it.
My favorite thing to do right now is to be super fucking rude to Nazis. I mean Trumpers, same thing. It is so fucking fun and so easy. They are such an easy fucking mark. They all are mouth breathers. They all usually have a flag on somewhere. So they're super identifiable. And I'm just rude. I'm as rude as possible. I cut them off in line. I give them dirty looks. I say shit under my breath only they can hear. They will react usually and say, why were you so rude? And I say, why are you so stupid? And then they get really pissed. And then they'll ask me again, you're fucking rude. They'll say, you're fucking rude. And I'll say, and you're a fucking Nazi. And they'll go, what? And I'll be like, sorry about your luck, man. My grandpa told me I was supposed to beat the fucking brakes off of Nazis. But I'm not violent anymore, so I'm just rude to you motherfuckers now. They do not like that. So much fun. So much fun. I got to tell one that, sorry, bro, but you've been telling us for a decade that being empathetic was weak and woke. I have no empathy for stupid motherfuckers. Get Nazi.
What a bitch.
Now, this young lady is talking about illegal aliens, and there are two dead giveaways as to what her political leanings are. The first one is obviously the septum piercing, and the second one, the eyes. It's always the eyes. Check this out. Roll it.
Illegally. They came here illegally. There is nothing you could do to ever make me care what their legal status is in congruence to how they're being treated.
She's got the crazy eyes.
Dude, the eyes, they're crazy.
Now, I'm sure most of you probably remember during the Biden administration that the Assistant Secretary of Health was that big husky fella named Rachel Levine. Well, here we have a post from End Wokeness on X, formerly known as Twitter, showing Canada's equivalent. The post says, "This is the new president of Canada's Public Health Agency, Nancy Hamzawi. If you ask me, she doesn't look Canadian and she doesn't appear to be all that healthy."
That's a huge bitch.
Now, this lovely blue-haired lady is going to give us the definition of a liberal. Now, I think modern-day liberals are more like authoritarian cult members. Roll it.
The definition of liberal is willing to respect or accept behaviors or opinions different from one's own, or relating or denoting a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, and free enterprise. So basically you don't care about anybody else. And you think that I'm a bad person because I respect other people's opinions. Like, what world are we living in?
Oh, don't give me that liberal bullshit.
And next up, we have this young lady who thinks communism and Marxism will fix everything. Roll it.
Lead a revolution against the billionaires?
I do. How do we do that?
Excellent. Well, we're the Revolutionary Communists of America, and we're out here at Maria Hernandez Park. It's quite a lovely, lively day out here on a Sunday. And yeah, we're out here talking to workers, talking to students, bringing forward a revolutionary program. We're building a Marxist cadre organization, so that means that we're training Marxists that can train more Marxists, so that we can build the core of the future mass party that can lead the working class to overthrow capitalism, expropriate the capitalists, put all of the means of production under democratic workers' control, so that we can build for the needs of society and not just the profits of a parasitic layer of billionaires.
Amazing. Where can I find out more?
Well, if you'd like to get involved, if you'd like to join, you can sign up at communistusa.org/join.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly what we're looking at here, but this person's gripe is that some police officers take their vehicles home with them. Roll it.
I've had this thought swirling around in my head for probably months at this point, but I've just now been able to really put words to it, and I want to tell you about it. I think one of the strangest things about living in America as a police state, and also one of the easiest things that we could just get rid of and would fix a lot of problems, would be to just not let officers take their police vehicles home with them. Like, I know that there is a police officer that lives in my neighborhood. You know how I know? Because they have their police vehicle in their front driveway all of the time. Stop giving cops the ability to use intimidation in their own home when they're supposed to be considered a civilian at that point.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, I can't tell if this fella put on too much makeup or he's going for the whole Leatherface look from the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor is Patty Howen. Patty, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. And our second sponsor of today's video is the Etsy store Red Clover Fields. Now, many of you know that is my wife's Etsy store, and she's got some fantastic stuff on her website, stuff I use every day, and I swear by it. So if you're looking to take control of your health, look for some more natural remedies, and maybe get away from some big pharma products, definitely go peruse her store. I will put a link to that in the description box below. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mentions, Melanie Weed and Swiftwolf, for each leaving a super thanks on the last video. So Melanie and Swiftwolf, thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. So once again, today's video sponsors are Patty Howard in the Etsy store Red Clover Fields, with the honorable mentions going to Melanie Weed and Swift Wolf. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of this fella for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Ugh.
All right, that's creepy.
Now, I think it's safe to assume that most of us were brought up not to pick on people like this young fella here, so I'm not exactly sure who he's talking to. Roll it.
The thing about fighting me is that you're not going to beat my ass. You're not going to beat my ass. You're not going to beat... I'm going to beat your pussy... You're going to beat this... I'm going to beat your pussy ass up.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Peace. God bless.
Now, I think we're all well aware of something happening in this country right now called black fatigue, and well, there's a cure for it. Roll it.
I swiped the EBT. It said decline. Girl, I ain't paying no cash. Hell no.
You ever been in a situation like this with a bonnet-wearing LaFonda? You're not racist. You're just exhausted. That's when my doctor prescribed me Civilize. Not to make it better, just so I could keep my mouth shut and walk away.
With Civilize, you don't hear the ignorance. You don't feel the heat. You just move forward. Thanks to Civilize, I don't even hear it anymore.
Good one.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of everyone's favorite Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi being interrupted by a reporter on what appears to be her liquid lunch break. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
How is your office responding to the pauses in gender affirming care here in California?
Well, that is something that I'm working for at the national level, and we have, how can I say, are hoping that we can have gender affirming care for our trans kids, and that it's a sad thing for us. I'm not totally. I don't know what effect we can have nationally with what we have going on in the White House and in the Congress. It's really very sad. If you were there, outside our door, we have a trans flag. Outside of our door in the office, congressional office building, we have the trans flag, as do some of our other colleagues. But that view is not necessarily shared by people on the other side of the aisle.
What a crazy old broad.
2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on a... It's black. Anyway.